Rapunzel, the tower built of thoughts. There's a witch, there's a tower, there's a girl with golden hair, there's a prince calling from below. It sounds like a story about a girl locked away by someone cruel, but really, it's the story of the mind. The whole fairy tale is a map of how the ego builds a prison and calls it safety. The tower, the body as a prison. The tower with no doors and no stairs is the body, a place that looks like protection but is really confinement. When the mind believed it could separate from God, it imagined a tower to hide inside. That tower is built out of thoughts of guilt and fear. Every brick says, "I'm alone." Every window says, "Look, but don't touch." It's the illusion of distance, the dream of being somewhere God is not. The witch, the ego that guards guilt. The witch isn't evil. She's afraid. She's the part of the mind that believes it stole something from heaven and must now guard it. She says, "Stay inside, stay safe, don't trust anyone." But her protection is really possession. The ego always traps what it values, because to the ego, love means control. You can see it in the world. Get the job, then fear losing it. Get the partner, then fear someone else taking them. Get the child, then fear the world will harm them. Every gain comes with a shadow of loss, because the ego's love is built on fear. So the witch gets Rapunzel, but now she's got to keep her hidden, high up and alone. That's the trap. Once you have it, you have to defend it. The ego never rests because it's always protecting what it thinks it stole. The parents, the mind that wanted more. Rapunzel's parents stole from the witch's garden. That's the symbol of the original temptation, the belief that something outside could complete you. They wanted more, and in wanting more, they lost everything. The witch didn't really take their child. Their desire for specialness did. In A Course in Miracles, this is the moment the mind says, "I could make a world apart from God." That's the beginning of every exile. Rapunzel, innocence in a dream. Rapunzel is the Christ mind, innocent and radiant, still connected to heaven through the golden hair that reaches down from her tower. Her hair is the symbol of communication, the line between God and the sleeping mind. Golden because it's divine, endless because it's eternal. You can't cut spirit. It keeps extending, just like love. Even in the dream of separation, connection remains. No matter how high the tower, no matter how thick the walls, love always finds a way to reach itself. The Prince, the Holy Spirit calling you home. The Prince doesn't storm the tower. He doesn't fight the witch. He calls. He says, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." That's the Holy Spirit, the voice of remembrance. It never forces, never argues, never attacks. It simply invites. Every time you forgive, every time you choose peace instead of fear, you're letting down that hair. You're extending love instead of defense. The cut hair, the ego's last defense. When the witch cuts Rapunzel's hair, that's the ego's desperate attempt to sever the line of communication. But spirit can't be destroyed. Even when it looks like the connection is lost, the Holy Spirit uses the wilderness, your lowest moment, as the very classroom for awakening. You think you've fallen, but really you've just walked into your healing. The tears, forgiveness that restores sight. When Rapunzel's tears fall on the prince's eyes and he sees again, that's forgiveness. Forgiveness restores vision because it heals the idea of separation. You thought tears meant weakness, but in truth they're release. They wash away judgment. They show that the heart has remembered what the mind forgot. The witch's disappearance, the end of fear. No one defeats the witch. She simply fades when she's no longer believed in. That's how the ego ends, not through battle but through recognition. You don't have to attack the witch. You just have to see that she never had real power. The witch is not your enemy. She's the mistake asking to be corrected. The real moral. Rapunzel is not a story about escape. It's a story about remembrance. You can't lock up love. You can't cut the golden hair of spirit. You can't hide forever in a tower of thought. And you don't need to fight your way out. You only need to remember that the door was never locked. In a high tower built of thought sat innocence itself, dreaming of captivity. But when love whispered her name, even the walls remembered they were never real.